Welcome back here. When you make something good, people will recognize it for what it is and appreciate it and enjoy it. When you make garbage, woke garbage to just tick boxes with that being your only thought in mind, you clearly show what you're doing and people walk away from it. One of the clearest examples of that is the MCU. Phase 4 was a complete and utter disaster. Everything that could have been wrong with it was wrong with it. They needed to find some way to just piss off people, and that's what they've been doing. And after that, they were talking about, well, they need to try to see if they could do something again for Phase 5 and 6. I said quite clearly, it's not going to happen. They're going to continue the same rubbish because they will not learn. So said, so done. This article here from Bounding into Comics. Marvel Studios casting director confirms studio will continue to embrace their representation and diversity agenda that is slowly killing the MCU. Yeah, for some reason they have this belief in mind that there was never any kind of diversity or anything in comics, in anything at all, and they have to now make that the focal point and just leave everything else at the wayside. Marvel Studios casting director Sarah Finn recently confirmed that the film production company will continue to embrace the representation and diversity agenda that has seen the Marvel Cinematic Universe fall into decline during Phase 4, a phase that was unceremoniously killed early by Marvel Studios boss Kevin Feige. Yeah, talked about representation and pushing the female agenda. That blew up fast. Speaking with the Rap, Finn lied about the diversity and representation agenda not being a proclamation, except that it was. She said it wasn't, from my experience, a proclamation, but that is exactly what Kevin Feige said, that they were going to focus on that. That's dead. However, the Walt Disney Company, who is the parent company of Marvel Studios, has made it very clear that they do indeed have quotas and have many numerous proclamations about pushing the diversity and representation agenda. On their Reimagine Tomorrow website, the first thing you see is a message that reads, "At Disney, inclusion is for everyone. Reimagine Tomorrow is our way of amplifying underrepresented." I cannot mean all of that nonsense and all of that, right? We all know what they've done. We all know it's come back to bite them in the ass, and that's what they actually do, because Disney refused to. Disney decided that they were going to stop being the family brand and decided that they go and embrace a bunch of that crap that had nowhere to be there. Right? None whatsoever. Yeah, there was even the so-called "don't say gay" legislation, all kind of thing, and all of this nonsense. Right. Kevin Feige also revealed back in April of 2021 that the Eternals film was moved to the top of their release schedule due to the race and gender swaps that are part of the overall representation and inclusion agenda. He told Variety, well, the notion of switching up the genders, sexualities, and ethnicities of the characters from the comics was baked in initially. That was part of what Nate Moore was really advocating for in moving the Eternals to the top of the list for us to start working on. And for anybody who hasn't seen it yet, Eternals was a terrible movie. Absolutely terrible movie. I watched it, I did a review for it, and I regret wasting my time to even watch it. In fact, Feige would also note that they set out with the intention of changing characters before they even got to casting. Listen to it. When it came to casting, that also did affect it. There were some characters that we changed from male to female. There were some characters that we knew how we were going to alter them from the books. But then also it came down to casting. So right there, he's saying that, all these things where you can come on and saying about, it's not about race, it's about getting the right person for the right character and the person who really embodies this character's thing. It's a blasted lie. All of it is a lie. You're admitting here that race is the single point of what you're doing it. You go in there and say that you set out with the intention of changing characters before they even got to the casting. So even if you look at a show like, let's say, Disney's upcoming live action Little Mermaid, where you had the director talking and saying things like, oh no, it's not about race. There's no agenda. That's a lie. It's a lie. It's the first thing in their mind. They have an agenda. They have a quota that they have to meet. Disney is telling them, listen, you have to do this. And that's what they're doing. They're changing these characters before they even get to anything else, because that is what they want to do. And rather quote and just admit it, yes, this is what we're doing, and this is why it's killing the purpose of it. No. They lie to you and expect that everybody is so stupid that they won't catch on. That's it. Given the Walt Disney Company CEO Bob Iger and Marvel Studios boss Kevin Feige have made it very clear the goals they are committed to, it came as no surprise that Finn echoed what the rest of them have been saying, albeit trying to claim it's not being mandated. She informed the rap, I will say that after Avengers Endgame, it was one of the things that really fueled me. There's that moment of, wait, where do we go from here? After Endgame, it felt so final, but that's probably because that was the Endgame, and that's when everything started to go downhill after that. And then, of course, that impulse is we go with more representation, more diversity, we go younger. There's a whole fresh wave to explore here. And for me personally, that's really giving me tremendous energy to move forward. She added, this is all based on the whole thing where Marvel Comics did their whole all new, all diverse thing where they were taking established characters and just race swapping them, gender swapping them, sexual swapping them, all kind of thing. And it never worked. You look at some of the characters that they introduced, that Ironheart, people never liked Riri Williams. America Chavez, the girl who was born on a planet full of lesbians, you understand me, never got over as a character because they kept trying to push something that never worked. Who else? Miss Marvel is just basically tokenized Mr. Fantastic, done with everything wrong. That was where I wanted. And there are others, Miles Morales and all that thing. These characters never got over. The books did not work. But no, do you think that they was to stop? No, I mean, even if you look at this here, right? Kate Bishop. They decided to try and make her the new Hawkeye. Never worked. Despite the quotas that the Disney company is clearly embracing, Finn tried to downplay them by claiming the company's top priority when casting is talent. She relayed, look, talent is number one, right? No, it isn't the kind of crap you're doing. Does this person have talent? So they have talent not only to play what's in front of them, but potentially go the long distance, because we've seen so many of these characters evolve and change over time. So I certainly think talent is a starting point. Not saying that people is talented and I don't have talented people. What I'm saying is that that's not what you're looking for initially. Finn went on to detail other factors she claims to look at in the casting process. Charisma, we all know that's a bloody lie. We all know that. Maturity is an important, I wouldn't say quality, but an important aspect, an important factor that I take in when we're casting, because they're thrust into the sort of worldwide attention, the social media attention, everything. For someone as young as I think it's Sochi, that the one who played America Chavez in the Doctor Strange movie. As young as Iman, that's Ms. Marvel. I want to know that they're going to be okay, and it's hard. It's a lot, but both of them are handling themselves so beautifully. Except that, their whole, this is that they remove their issues and they didn't really do anything. Really. So, it's pretty much clear that the MCU, is fully looking to embrace their whole aspect that is destroying Phase 4. They want to keep doing it going forward. I think that their initial plans to bring some kind of young Avengers kind of thing that didn't work in the comics, but decided to do it here. And when that fails miserably, do what everybody else does. Blame the fans, call them racist, and then that'll make everything right as rain. Don't actually try to do something good, because all of these things that they talk about representation and diversity and how they're all a bunch of bigots out there who don't like it. If you just look at, let's say, Iron Man, for instance, the first Iron Man, that's what really started the MCU. And the fact that so many people of different races, different nationalities, different whatever, across the globe, embraced and really liked that movie. That is what brought about the MCU. Then we had Captain America, and we had Hulk, and all these kind of things else came about. And then we got all of this built up to something. But did we actually get that out the door? No. We've gotten it built up with the MCU over time. Phase 1, 2, 3, okay. And then come Phase 4, they had to jump in on your representation and act like, it was never there. It was never there. And now you're saying that, you know what, you're going to double down on the very thing that destroyed the Phase 4, destroyed Phase 4, and is continuing to destroy the MCU. They're losing money by the millions, by the billions, because you refuse to do what works. You intend to push this down people's throat, and if they choke on it, they are to blame, not you. It's going to be a disaster going forward for the MCU, and I can't wait to see how this ends up. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. Give me a different opinion. I'd love to hear it. If you like the video, make sure to hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell to notify every time I put out a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.